Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to today's daily market review. It is Tuesday the 28th of July, and today we're going to be looking at the US stock Textron. Now, Textron, the maker of Beechcraft and Cessna planes, reported a 16% rise in quarterly profits, and this was helped by lower costs. Now, the company's net income rose to 167 million or 60 cents per share in the second quarter, ending July 4th, and this is from 144 million or 51 cents per share a year earlier. Now, in terms of the aviation business, which is the largest side of Textron, that took a hit, and its revenue fell by 5% to 1.12 billion in the same quarter, and this has been attributed by a change in the mix of commercial aircraft. So in terms of the technical outlook, what next for Textron? Well, on the weekly time frame, in terms of the momentum of the market, we can clearly see that the indicator has begun to enter into the oversold zone. And we can see, if we dial down to the daily time frame, that we have the same scenario, and we can see that the market again is oversold. Now, in terms of the pattern, on the daily time frame, we have a crab pattern which has developed. Okay, so we've had a steady uptrend for the majority of the year, and in terms of the retracement that's taking place, it's taking place in the form of a classic AB equals CD pattern. But in terms of harmonics, when we create or make a 5-point pattern out of a 4-point AB equals CD, we have formed the crab pattern, and the ending zone of the pattern falls in at around 40.55. Now, in and around this level, we've applied our usual Fibonacci retracements, symmetry and external retracements to the price axis of the market, and we have three ratios which have fallen within a relatively narrow price range. We have a 1.272, a 0.886, and also a 447. So the completion of the crab, we're expecting in and around the zone or price range of 40.55 to 40.07, and then below this zone we have a second zone of 39.68 at 39.31. Now, today on the open, after the announcement of the second quarterly profit, we saw a rise of around 2 3/4. The market was trading up in and around 41.63 at one point. We've seen a slight retracement since this time. Market currently trading at 41.14. So as usual, what we want to see is on our 60-minute time frame, we want to see a cross of our two moving averages, our 34 and our 8, and then we want to see price action take out a swing high. So until this point, we will not be entering Textron until again we see a cross of our two moving averages and the taking out of a swing high. Now, in terms of our time window, we can see that the market has entered into our typical time window for retracement. So in terms of momentum, price and time, we have correlation in all three factors, and now we're just waiting for our entry trigger into this trade, and then at which time we will look for resistance zones within the ABCD that may impede the rally, and then once the market violates this area, we will then plot our 1.272 and 1.618 external retracement of our pattern, and we will be looking for our targets. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with how we plot our targets and how we look for possible levels of future resistance or support for a upcoming trade we have identified, then I encourage you to look over some of our earlier daily market reviews where we give examples and we show how we do this. So in terms of Textron, We're expecting a reversal to the current correction to take place once we get the moving average cross of the 34 and the 8 moving average on the 60-minute time frame, and also the violation of a swing high. So in a nutshell, once the crab pattern is complete, you can expect to see further upside for this stock.